This is Plant Daddy here, and in this video I'm going to give you a early spring tour of the nursery from the plant mounds to the grow and sales area. So this is the part one to the two parts, and so I'm filming this after the fact. You look behind me, a little sneak peek of this next video, part two. And so watch this to see what everything looks like in the early spring. There's a lot of casualties, a lot of dead plants, and everything looks bad, but as you can see, a lot of stuff is blooming, leafed out, and it's looking really good. And so just watch this one and then watch part two, and part two is definitely going to be a lot better. I'm going to have someone record me for that one, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the date is April 20th here at Plant Daddy Express. To be honest, I've kind of been putting this off, like doing any work, just because it snowed like yesterday. And so anyways, this is my try and zoom out here. This is my, got my pots to the left there, and then my bark mulch and compost mix. Right under there I've got about 100 butterfly milkweeds, and then I've got an assortment of ornamental grasses that I gotta split apart, and some more back there, a couple junipers, and then over there I got some daffodils that I got from a friend. So I mean, you can hear my feet squishing just because of all the water, but this is my grow area currently. And so basically just an assortment, big wide variety of shrubs, trees, and basically a little bit of everything. And right here I got some strawberries and some phlox that are about to bloom, little princess spirea. So I got probably 40 something bins, maybe 50 something bins back there. I'll show you a little bit of them. Basically these are all the plants I've planted so far, just a few phlox. I got some random plants from my mounds. I got some corkscrew willows and stuff, maples, Irish moss, more shrubs, different varieties. This is just thyme, Thompson forsythia, more spirea, autumn joy sedums. They were highly requested. I got some June snowballs, viburnum, and a couple other types of viburnum. Basically this whole section here is viburnums at the end, but then I think 3 types of weigelias, and then some more autumn joy sedums. Got some boxwoods, some annuals that I just left there because maybe they'll still seed. I got some junipers and whatchamacallits here, arbovitas. Back here I've got some armerias, some more of those whatchamacallits, and some burning bushes. Basically just a little bit of everything. A lot of these are kind of new, like basically most of these weigelias. I don't remember ever selling any of those, so basically all weigelias are new. I got some new types of spirea, that whole section there. Just under 100 Anthony Waters spirea. Coral bell is probably one of my favorite plants. All potentillas right here. They'll absolutely just get covered in yellow flowers. I had a ton of really nice boxwoods, and then they mostly died, so thought I was gonna have a ton, but crap happens. More junipers, blue rug. I think they're probably sea green junipers. Not really sure. They get pretty big. 2 Rhine gold arbovitas. Probably about 100 more whatchamacallits, barberries, and then back to spirea. Here they're not really pink yet, just dappled willows. Said the bins, I'll show you those, and the frame. So here's my bins. I got some phlox and a few of these. I just recently kind of stuck, but basically all you can see is a bunch of different shrubs, ground covers. I just stick about 60 different plants in each bin, and as you can see I have a lot of bins. So One thing I'd like to mention is I did say that my whole entire grow area will be moving to up front, so that means that every single one of these plants will be moved, and it's going to be a pain, but it's going to happen. So this is the first mound that I built in 2017, and I'll go and switch this mound right here. I got a few different ground covers, just phlox and a couple types of creeping thyme, some liriope, whatever it's called, Weigelias and boxwood, and I've had a whole bunch of different plants on this mound. A couple of them were destroyed by deer, and you'll see on a bunch of these mounds I don't know if it really shows in the video, but I've got like daylilies and coral bells and things just covered in this fence that I cut up. I have some bulbs and things. But this is this mound. I'm gonna remove some of these daylilies to split them up, but for the most part this mound's gonna stay the same. Here's the second mound that I've built. This mound completely was redone. Basically I had to remove all the plants just because it was overrun with weeds and too short, filled with water basically a lot. But here is 4 different types of spirea, I believe. I think maybe 3 types. But anyways, I got basically a pinwheel of spirea. So then basically you can kind of not really see, but anyways, that's gonna be a thing for the future. I might completely remove that tree in the center. So this is probably my biggest mound out of all the 3 big mounds. But basically I got ornamental grasses, irises, 4 big viburnums. I've got spirea, more liriope. I guess I got more than just 4 viburnums. I've got a few new types of plants that I forget the name. Creeping phlox and thyme, different type there. Pink potentilla, basically some rose bushes that probably died. Here in the front, this is probably my favorite section. Here I got a whole bunch of coral bells that kind of got eaten, whatever, by some deer. And behind them I had a whole bunch of gay feathers or blazing stars, and those things got like 3 or 4 foot tall last year. And then in the front here I got 3 autumn joy sedums, and then a bunch of I'll have to make another video, but all these phlox in the front here, they should like triple in size when they bloom. So here's my sign. A lot of people take pictures of this, and got a couple bulbs there that are flowering, and but basically here it is. I prefer that you don't just take pictures. I prefer that you stop by and talk to me, see what I have, you know, maybe buy a shirt if you can't buy any plants. Typically the road's pretty quiet. So here's the sunburst locust mound. The locust tree's probably about 10 foot tall, maybe even more. Funny thing is, this is one of the very first plants I've ever planted in a pot. I got it from right beside a dumpster, basically. Right under the wall that encased the dumpster. And basically just a bunch of different shrubs. Some of these things I've failed to really grow a bunch of. I've got Annabelle hydrangeas there, bridal wreath spirea, some viburnums, oak leaf hydrangeas. I think there's 5 or 6 of them on this mound. Some more coral bells and some phlox. So this is the area that I'm going to put in a whole bunch of landscape fabric, move my whole entire grow area over here to combine to make a giant sales area. The sales area is right here, and of course I got some deer that have ripped out a couple things, and but you'll have that. basically, this is a sales area. A lot of these plants do need removed, but most of them, once they get growing, they should be fine. I mean, this is just under half my plants and I have 5,000. So you do the math. I mean, behind there, you can see the taller grass is where I'm going to expand this area, and a lot of this is kind of empty, but I'm going to make these paths bigger. A lot of elderly people walk around here, and I've got a lot of plants over there, and as you saw on my mound, I got a bunch of plants there that need potted. But I mean, in my bins, I've got a lot of plants that need planted. So here's basically the last mound. Last year this thing was just about, it looked like it was overflowing with plants because the shrubs, they're all basically touching. Ground covers were big, almost reached each other. But this year, a lot of these plants, as you can see, they all died. I'm not entirely sure if that's because of the water rotting them or what it is, if the roots are just too open and the water washed away the dirt, or if they just got wind damage because this is on a pretty tall mound, or what. But some things have done pretty well, and luckily a lot of things are underground, like the daylilies, and they don't really get bothered. But here's another view. We burnt all this about a month ago, and I'm pretty much ready to start this whole new project. I know you may be watching this video and seeing that a lot of these plants, they don't look too good. My mounds are pretty dull. The whole video itself is pretty dull, and I mean, the way I'm recording this is kind of crappy. But in the future, I'm hopefully gonna have someone recording before me, and plants, they do grow. Plants are gonna be sold, they're gonna be bought, and I'm doing a lot of big things right now. With this expansion, I'm pretty eager to start, like I said, but I've got 5,000 plants, and that's not a small amount. And I've got even more in my bins. And I don't think I'm gonna really be buying wholesale to sell, but it's definitely gonna be in the future something I'm gonna do. I'd like to try and do as much as I can. Maybe with this YouTube thing, I'll get some sponsors. I like to get some different things going other than just the plants. Basically, I thought about growing some food, vegetables, maybe get some source of protein, like maybe chickens or fish, or who knows. But maybe move into spices. But please, like I said, stop on by, subscribe. If you're unable to stop by, basically any support in any form really helps, and I appreciate it.